Second.
Be vulnerable.
First thing I humble yourself to ask somebody for guidance.
Absolutely.
Humble yourself to ask somebody for guidance. You've got to have
That's how we
some.
got here.
Right. And you know, I mean, I give you generic, everyday information that is an accumulation of book knowledge, you know. I mean, gosh, we could look at it. I mean, am I really smart, or do I just have a good memory? I mean, come on. I mean, really. You know, I mean,
Well, you haven't used in 20 years.
I haven't used in 20 years, you know, and
Show some intelligence.
you know, and I've operated this facility for 4 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? I haven't been thrown in jail. I haven't killed anybody. Haven't shot anybody. You know what I'm saying? Almost. You know, I've had to call the popo 3 or 4 times because somebody threatened to kill me. You know, so, you know, I'm beginning to feel like Obama. I need Secret Service. You know, but the thing is that what's the difference really? I mean, you sit and read the book and you either decide to do it, right? Are you really smart if you read the book? You're really smart if you decide to do it.
Right. Like wisdom?
Yes, that's wisdom. Wisdom is knowing what to do. Wisdom isn't knowledge. Knowledge stands all alone. Wisdom comes along when you take that knowledge or that memory and you say, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. You see what I mean? Like I watch movies. I watch movies and then I turn them into classes. And y'all sit here and go, ooh, ah, oh, he's so smart. It's not smart. It's wisdom. How do I take a quote out of a movie and go, and my brain is like a slot machine, you know? I input this one sentence and out comes 60 minutes of classroom. I don't know how my brain does it. But undoubtedly everybody can't do it, or everybody would. You see what I'm saying? So, here you are, here's you. No smarter than me, no dumber than me. Okay? You're just you. And we need to quit putting those degrees on it. You follow what I'm saying? I'll use Perry real quick. Actually, I'll just use 4 years of construction real quick. Okay? I have a lot of people come in here and tell me that they're handymen, that they're handy, that they can do things, right? And I have some that come in here and that are just bam, 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 sharp, lots of common sense. Then I have some come in here that are very anal, smart, but perfectionist. Okay? And so they look at a crooked door, and the only way for them to fix a crooked door is knock the wall out and reframe it. Right? And the other guy comes in and says, why don't we just take a skill saw and cut the end of it off? Why don't we just mark it, take a skill saw and cut it off the same way that if the floor is slanted this way, then just cut the door that way. Well, that's not perfect. Now, it's kind of like the 2 Aggies. Okay, the 2 Aggies are standing in the Aggie barn, okay, and they're looking at this Clydesdale. And they lead the Clydesdale to the door, and he won't fit out the door. He won't get out, he's too tall. So one Aggie looks at the other Aggie and says, hey Clyde, let's dig a ditch so he can walk through the ditch and get out the door. And Clyde looked at him and said, stupid, it's his head that's too tall, not his legs. That's Perry. Brilliant engineer, brilliant builder, okay? Ain't got a lick of common sense that God gave a piss in. I mean, you see what I'm saying? And I'm exaggerating, but you see what I'm saying? And so we're all equal, okay? And the fact is, if I want to sit here and feel better than anybody, I have no right. Because I cannot, if the only way I can feel better than you is if I can do everything you can do better. Well, the first thing we got to look at is the whole man-woman thing. Okay? So I cannot possibly be better than Tracy because I can't have a kid. So she's better than me than that. You know? I can attempt to make a man happy, but probably not gonna. Okay? Tracy's better than that, you know? You see what I mean? Now, on the driving thing, the drinking and driving thing, I'm a lot better than Tracy is. Every time she drinks and drives, she crashes. Okay? Now, I crashed a lot, but not every time. Do you see what I'm saying? So here, when we're talking about determination, you got to determine that you're worthy of what you want to change. Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to just get clean and sober? Do you want a new career? Okay? And then you've got to take some action toward that. You have to take some steps toward that. Okay? You know, if Julia came here a wanting sex toy. Okay? And somewhere in that, she decided she wanted to be a woman. And so she began to change. If you're a wanton sex toy and you want to be a woman, what's the first thing you do?
Stop having sex.
Quit having sex.
Quit having sex.
Stop giving yourself away. You see what I mean? You stop giving yourself away. That you're determined to not do that. Now, rumor has it she's failed a time or two. Okay, don't have any facts to that, but rumor has it she's failed a time or two. Okay, but the determination and the action is to go from trollop to tribute. Okay, going from an eyesore of God to a glorious woman of God. Then you have to take the actions, take the steps in that direction. And then, of course, where she's at now, as is Destiny and a couple of others, is they've taken the action, they've stopped the negative action that they've been doing. Now they're maintaining their stature. And that's the last step in the cycle of change. Okay? People, hear me when I say this. This is where you normally fail. You do great coming here. You do great sitting in the classes. Many of you even do your chores wonderful. Okay? Many of you are even determined to stay clean. And you take some action to stay clean. You get a sponsor and you get some steps. And then when you move away, the maintenance goes out the window. Matt, LaCrista. The maintenance goes out the window. You decide that your change is complete. I have manifested from a caterpillar into a wonderful butterfly. And I am complete now, lacking nothing. And so I don't need your little maintenance program because I am God. Look at me. I am sober. You too could be God. And that's where the enemy comes in and tells you, you don't need. You don't need. Here, right now, in your contemplation stage, it's telling you, the enemy is telling you, you need all these things, doesn't it? Well, you need a pedicure. You need to shave. You know, you need some of them porcelain teeth. You need everything you need, right? And then when you get to the maintenance stage, the enemy is telling you, you don't need any of that. I know exactly what you need. You need a relationship. You need a relationship. That's what you need a mate. The enemy says, the Bible even says you're supposed to mate and procreate. That's what you need to do. Mate and procreate. And so you go about that. You go about believing that that's your next cycle in change. Is to mate and procreate. And then you end up like some of our folks do with another DWI and another pregnant woman. And the enemy's sitting over there going, "Yay, my hero!" Because you didn't do maintenance. You did no maintenance.